Hey kidders, Jester here, and welcome to new series, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. Now, before we actually kick off, I've got a couple of warnings. A, new microphone. You can see, well, you can see the pop filter there. That's about it, really. So I'm using this obviously instead of the microphone up here. That could be entertaining in the background for you, and it'll also lead into something else I need to mention. So, as with everyone, whenever I get a new kit, we're doing this kind of thing. Trial and error. So this week of episodes is probably quite short, maybe like 7 or 8 minute episodes per day for this first recording, especially because my camera's battery is a bit low at the minute, or will be soon. Second thing, you're noticing it now. No subtitles. This game has no option for subtitles. How dumb is that? Now, also, I don't want to have to turn the game audio up too much more, for obvious reasons, because, well, obviously, I don't want it to war too much of a commentary, if you know what I mean. And also at the same time, it's hard for me to shut up, so it's not like I can just shut up for when there's cutscenes. Well, it's not hard for me to shut up, it's just I don't really like to. Sometimes, you know, I don't talk much in real life, so when I get a chance to talk like this, I'm going to talk. Anyway, enough of that. So you got your two warnings there. New microphones, so trial and error in terms of sound levels and all that kind of thing. But it's better quality. I have already confirmed that much, and it means that when I'm moving my headset around, you're not going to end up getting a lot of clicking that's happened in the past. But having said that, this is a lot more sensitive as well. So there's probably still other sounds you're going to pop in every now and then. Also, don't know if you can see it, but shh, Bonnie's sleeping. I shouldn't turn around at the sound of a name there. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get right into the game now. And again, I apologise, no subtitles. So this opening scene. Also because I'm still worrying with what level the game audio should be versus my voice audio, all that kind of thing. So it's trial and error there. Because I use my screen recorder to do both at the same time. I don't fiddle with comparing one file to another. Like, I don't record vocals. When I'm doing screen recording on my PC, I don't do voice and game separately, recording them. I just record them both at the same time on my screen recorder. Easier, bit of a cop out really, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so sorry. This cutscene may be normal, of course, always normal. There's no point in doing easy. Excuse me. So yeah, so apologies because obviously sound levels are going to be a bit tricky for a while.
Make mistakes. Some are small. Some are large.
I'll try to at least talk quieter.
But his mistake, born of innocence,
So you can
by pride,
almost hear it.
was the greatest and most terrible of them all.
Or I could just explain this to you. Basically, there are multiple endings to Warrior Within, as you're probably well aware.
When the prince journeyed to the island
We got
to
the
escape death, that he returned alone.
probably not the most complete one.
The amulet destroyed. The Dahaka appeased. The
This is what we
amulet
got.
dead. The
This is what we
prince
saw.
fled.
That's exactly actually the exact
But
ending we
this is
got.
not how it happened.
But there were alternative endings.
The truth is that he chose to save me from my destiny. In doing so, he
Well, I wanted to do that, but
and doomed us all.
one of the alternate endings to Warrior Within was that we didn't kill Kylina. We saved her from Dahaka. We fought the Dahaka instead, and we took Kylina back home with us. And actually, there's a pretty saucy scene at the end of that particular ending. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. So this game plays on that ending instead, even though it's the far less common, less easy ending to get. But whatever. Sorry, dry mouth. But so yeah, so the game plays on that ending instead. So that's Kylina. We brought her home with us. She's a lot less attractive in this one. Her boobs look less fake, you know, less gravity defying. But she's generally not as attractive. Possibly because she doesn't have the accent. I miss the accent. But anyway. Also, you'll notice that the Goa'uld have invaded. Their Jafar haven't quite got the technological advanced weapons that they had in the series. I'm talking about Stargate, of course. I'm a big Stargate nerd. I'm not sure if I've ever actually mentioned that before. But yeah, in this whole game, you fight a lot of the Jafar in their massive fancy headdresses. So it kind of fits, I suppose, actually. I mean, this is like Babylon and Mesopotamia and India and all that kind of stuff instead of Egypt, but... sand, swords, guys in giant headdresses, same thing. See, so Kylie is dead anyway. Well, she might not be dead yet, I suppose, because if they're still working on the similar lore from Warrior Within, she's not exploded into pieces yet, or into the sand yet. If I remember rightly on this game, that comes later.
The prince found himself in a city quite different from the one he left behind.
Well, obviously, I was gone for what, 7 years? Thought I built like a cinema at least.
Blood-spattered awnings and splintered door frames were all that waited to greet him.
There were plenty of splintered door frames when I left, if the cutscene of me running away from the hacker was anything to talk about. Very dramatic shot. You notice how the in-game avatar looks nothing like the cinematic avatar.
Others had taken their place.
See, look, the hairdressers, they are complete and... no! Kalina! She looks like she's got dreads and henna tattoos. She looks very much nearly nothing like she did in Warrior Within. She looked better in Warrior Within. Except the boobs looks a lot faker, obviously. And the voice in this one. They've used the same actor from the first game, I think, again. It went voice actor from first game to a new voice actor in Warrior Within. I'm talking about at the time when I say first game. Then a different one in Warrior Within. And now they've come back to this guy, much like they did in Forgotten Sands. But in this one, he's putting on more of an American accent.
The prince made his way along the torn and blasted district, haunted by visions
like a narrator.
Past.
I'm not using a controller. I'm using a mouse.
Babylon's proud armada,
And clicking does nothing. We're also using a keyboard and mouse. That's what I was going to say actually when she interrupted. Because this game does not support decent controllers, which is the only kind of controller I have. I don't have an analog controller. I only have my Xbox One that I use a special attachment for to use. I can hear swordness. What? Oh, I can't do that one yet. Okay. Right click. You see, now it recognises that I'm using a friggin' mouse. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, this is the third game that was made in the series. Technically, the fourth game continuity-wise, if you're including Forgotten Sands, because we sure didn't forget him. And it is the least memorable. Well, that's unfair. There is a certain memorableness, not a word, in the way
everywhere there are
you have like a split personality in this.
Babylon's guard.
But
they all gone.
compared to all the other games, this is the one I remember fondly the least. Not because it was a bad game or anything like that. It's just the other ones were better. I mean, Warrior Within, towards the end of it, I reminded myself, got annoying. just how difficult it was. And this one did have a good storyline, but I don't know what it was. It's just this one I did not remember as well as I remembered any of the other ones. I think I'd probably still be safe in saying that the second one, the Warrior Within, is still probably my favourite story-wise. Gameplay-wise, Forgotten Sands, because it had so many different power functionalities. I had to remind myself of that fact by playing it, of course. The fifth one, the one that has a subtitle where you're not technically a prince, I love that game.
My story from here if you are called away.
They call back to the first game a lot in this one as well. Like, it's not Farah, this is Kylina talking in here now.
Continue my story from here next time.
And she uses the exact same lines Farah does in A Sands of Time, almost. Whatever. We can accept that though. There's so many pieces of both the first two games in this one, which makes sense, I suppose. But yeah, the fifth game, Prince of Persia, you know, just straight Prince of Persia. It's a good game. It is a good game. Has to be said. People didn't seem to like it because I think probably mainly because it didn't follow the story the same way.
Why is it that every time disaster strikes, I find myself without a proper blade? It's better than nothing.
What is this, like a kitchen knife? Like one of those really dull serrated things? Oh! One thing they did introduce in this game, actually now I'm just remembering, that was pretty good, although I never really got the hang of them. Never really used them that often. But them speed kills, they are pretty cool. What does that mean? When the icon appears in... Oh, press Q for landscape view. Oh, there's another guy. Okay, okay. Yeah, so these quick kills, they're pretty cool. They are pretty cool, has to be said. Approach the enemy from behind with... I can't go slowly because I've only got one button. I'm not getting my thingy. Why did the weird pulsey thing stop? Wouldn't that have been much more handy if it had remained long enough for me to know that I could definitely do it? That not have made more sense? So I've just been trying to ramble and explaining my preference in the series of the games, but I don't think I said it very clearly. The first one is classic. Second one, my favourite story, by far. If they made that into a film, I would be very, very happy. Just the second game. Just make the second game into a film. They've already made the first film. I'm sure they could probably somehow manage to do the exact storyline from the second game as a sequel. I'm sure. Because we've had the Sands of Time. They just used the exact same pretense that we shouldn't have fucked with the Sands of Time. This one, it's okay. It's all right. I like it. It's a good game. It's one of the kind of games that you can play and you don't feel like you've wasted time playing it. Oh. Hi. I should probably have waited for him to turn around or something. But the fourth one, Forgotten Sands, really good game. Really good mechanics involved. I loved having the extra powers, all that gin stuff. It was like spinach, you know. You just drink a shot of gin and you know. No, not the same thing. I really loved having those kinds of mechanics, and obviously it was the more advanced game in terms of graphics and the engine used and all that kind of stuff. You know, it ran a lot smoother, looked a lot prettier. The fifth game, I like it. People complain about it because of the cell shaded style, or because it wasn't the same kind of story. Same kind of story. You weren't really a prince. They changed everything basically, and I remember hearing that a lot of people complained that it was quite simple in the game, in gameplay, something along the lines of what am I looking for? Can I make that? I can't make that. In terms of, you know, you do this, you do that, and that's it. You know, it was the same thing over and over again. I don't know. Simplicity for simple minds. I liked it. I really liked that game. The story was intriguing. Could have been better done, but the story was intriguing. Very intriguing.
No way into the city now.
Could have been done in a bit more detail, a bit more variance maybe, but I'll agree that much. But it was stuck in my chest, boys and girls. Like not stuck in my throat, like stuck down here. It's like heartburn, but it's not heartburn. If that makes any sense. Oh no.